Hello, everyone. I chose to do my informative speech on the one and only Kim Mulkey. If you do not know who Kim Mulkey is, she is the current LSU women's basketball coach who has accomplished a lot in her time as a coach. For a little introduction on Kim Mulkey, she, like I said, is an American college basketball coach, and she's also a former player. She played from Louisiana Tech from 1980 to 84. And in that time, she also won an Olympic gold medal. She was an assistant coach at Louisiana Tech from 85 to 96, which is really ironic because she has also stated that she never saw herself being a coach. She thought she was going to be some CEO of a Fortune 500 company, and that's just not how it worked out for her. Some more to tell you about who Kim Mulkey is. She was the associate head coach of Louisiana Tech from 96 to 2000. And at that time, she decided to go to Baylor, where she became head coach for 21 seasons. So from 2000 to 2021. And then in 2021, she took on the job at LSU as their head coach, and she is still currently there. Her accomplishments that she's made throughout her life, she's actually the only coach in men or women's Division I basketball to win national titles as a player, an assistant coach, and a head coach. And to add to that, the only other coaches to even win national titles as a player and a head coach, just those two, is Dean Smith and Bobby Knight. They're two pretty big names. I'm not going to elaborate on them a whole lot, but I will tell you there's an interesting video of Bobby Knight throwing a chair. Just look it up on YouTube or TikTok. It's right there. She's also the fastest coach to ever hit 700 wins. And throughout her whole coaching career, her record is actually 700 and 113. So she hit that in 813 games, which is pretty phenomenal. And then when she got hired on with LSU, part of her accomplishments that she wanted to accomplish, she wanted to win a championship. She said that right from the get-go. She's standing there doing her introductory speech right before her first game, and she's looking up, and she's reading, the accomplishment flyers hanging from the ceilings of gyms that say, Final Four, Sweet 16, whatever they may say. And she just read off Final Four, Final Four, Final Four, Final Four. She said, we're going to change that. It took her 2 years. Last season for LSU women's basketball, they won the national championship against Iowa. And that was actually the first national title for women's basketball in LSU history. So not only was it an accomplishment for her, because it put her in that status of being the only female coach to hit a national title as a player, an assistant, and a head coach, but it also made history for the entire school. And, like I said earlier, she's only one of 3 coaches to win a national title as only a player and a head coach. Dean Smith and Bob Knight, 2 men. Some of the things she stands for, and it's really been brought to light really good recently. Honesty is her first one. You can tell she's one of those coaches, don't lie to her. She already knows, otherwise she wouldn't be asking. And integrity and doing what's right. Some of the things she's done recently that really prove this to me is, one of her players hadn't been playing for a few games. Nobody knows why, and that's exactly how it should be. It's nobody's business. And, she just kept getting a beating by the media, but she didn't look at it that way. She just simply told them, it's none of your business. And toward the end, some of the videos I saw, she was actually calling, the media out by name, saying, do I ask you this about your personal life? Basically saying, you're not entitled to know any of this. And she just put out there, she protected her team is what she did. It wasn't just about protecting one player, because I believe she would have done this for all her players. She's like, there's a code as a coach. things happen in the locker room, things happen, in these situations. You deal with it as a coach. And I think she truly believes that dealing with it as a coach doesn't involve the media, which I think portrays a lot of trust between her and her players. And that's also my favorite quality about her. You'll just, you got to look up a couple of the videos. Kim Mulkey versus the media. TikTok has a lot of them. And she doesn't care. She doesn't care what they say to her. She doesn't care what they say about her, because that's not her priority. Protecting her team is her priority. And she'll even tell you, some of the media have brought up to her, what about this on social media? And she's told them, I'm just going to stop you right there, because I know nothing about what's on social media and I don't care. Another point about Kim Mulkey is her presence. Now, a lot of people have mixed reviews about her presence. She's really known for her outfits. If you don't know who she is, like I said, just kind of look up a couple TikTok videos and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. She has these really flashy, flamboyant outfits. And, and these companies that send her these clothes, they're smart, because now, she's one of the best coaches in women's basketball history, so a lot more people are watching. It's great advertisement. If I owned a clothing company, I'd send her free clothes too and hope she wore them. A lot of them are shiny, a lot of sequins, some have feathers. I mean, even the win LSU had last year with the national championship, the whole outfit was sequins. And it looked really good on her. How she pulls some of these outfits off, I'll never know, because a normal person couldn't do it. And her body language says a lot about her presence. She's constantly fighting for the team. You can tell from the time the game starts to the time it ends. She's not afraid. She's not afraid to call out a ref and say, hey, that wasn't right. And she's also not afraid to show emotion. Now, when she knew she was going to win and her team was going to win that national championship last year, she cried. She couldn't help it. She cried. And you could tell right on national TV she cried. I would too. If I knew that that was the accomplishment that I had wanted and it only took me 2 years to get it and it's making school history, I'd have cried too. So, there's a lot to be said about Kim Mulkey. I can't go through all of her accomplishments because we'd be here all day. So, in conclusion of my informative speech about Kim Mulkey, I just want to say she's by far one of my biggest idols because of her moral standings and her hard work. It's not easy to accomplish what she has accomplished. And there's so much more that she's done. Players respect her, and some even say that they can't live without her, and they need her in their lives. She's a role model to a lot of people, especially her student athletes. So take a minute, look up a video. It's worth the watch.